Hey y'all. Okay, so part 4 of Love Is, we are talking about something new. Okay, something new. It's about this black accountant and this white landscape architect. Well, it's about her and her girls. And she's navigating through her work life, which has become her life. Her job has become her life, right? And in the beginning, one of her friends said, "Your job is your life." And it struck me because I remember back in my 20s, like, I wasn't thinking about nothing but getting money, traveling, and posting it on social media and just having fun, right? So I really wasn't thinking about marriage, kids, or anything like that. So I was like really big on career, and that's all I thought about, right? And I think it's easy for us to get stuck in that rut of just working until we die. That working literally becomes your identity, right? And so she's very like rigid and just kind of in her ways. And we see one of the first scenes is with her and her girlfriends. All four of them are single on Valentine's Day. And one of the phrases they use is let go, let love flow, right? Let go, let flow. And it made me think of letting go and just letting God, okay? He brought me to Romans 12, specifically verse 2, but I'm going to read verse 1 and 2. Jesus. Okay. And the title is A Living Sacrifice. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. By the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will, right? So the biggest thing I got from this movie is just being open, right? And when I think about being open, I just think about my walk with God and how my being willing to be open and kind of go and do and be places I would not necessarily go or be, but I went in obedience. What I found in being open is just not only open doors, but just adventure, okay? Adventure. Not only that, it takes a level of it takes a level of not caring what other people think. Because if you are conformed to the world and you care about what people think and you're not transformed by the renewing of your mind, you will be shut off, you will not be open, and you won't see the possibilities that are out there, right? The whole goal is for you to be transformed to the point where you're like unbiased about everything, right? And with that comes more responsibility, because then there's more that God can do through you. But it's a sacrifice, right? It's a sacrifice. So, the part about not worrying about what other people think. And so when Kenya and Brian start dating, right, they seem to hit it off, right? But every time her brother came around, who thought himself he thought highly of himself, I should say, because he calls Brian, the landscaper, the help, right? Mind you, this man has a degree. He used to be an admin. He used to be in corporate, but fell in love with landscape architect. And so that's what he does for a living. And I think that's a testament in and of itself that a lot of people aren't doing what they love because they feel like they're going to look like to their friends or family or society like they took a step back in society's eyes, when it's just like, no, it's what you love to do. God probably have that a part of your purpose, right? So with him calling Brian the help led me to then the next verse in Romans chapter 12, which is, for by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. And I think a lot of us, I think that's where a lot of the problem lies when it comes to just being happy, whether it's in your profession, with somebody else, or just in general. Like, you worry about what people think. And a lot of that comes with you thinking that you are better than someone, or you're better than working at that job, even if it's for a season, right? Or you're better than the person God told you to go say hi to, or better than the person that you feel led to potentially ask on a date, but you won't because you're worried about what your family think. Meanwhile, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. I don't even know where that came from. Anyway, I think a lot of our unhappiness comes from thinking we are bigger and highly than we are. And because of it, we are not open to the unknown. And because we're not open, we are not able to walk into the divine, into the adventure, into the roller coaster of life. I don't even know what I'm saying here. I don't know what I'm saying. I think the biggest thing is to let go and surrender. Let go of what you think you want. Because remember, when Kenya and Brian break up, her ideal man, the guy that checked all the boxes, right? Business suit, businessman, degree, successful in society's eyes. I guess they probably do something similar. I can't remember what Blair Underwood's character did in the movie. But she was miserable. Like, she didn't have fun with him. She was everything she thought he was everything she thought she wanted. He was everything she thought she wanted in a man. And when it showed up, it ended up not being that, right? Because we go by society standards and like, oh, I want this. As opposed to just being open to however love comes. And so with that, I say, and I feel God saying, even to the single women out there, single men, single people, let go and be open, and you'd be surprised what comes to you. And that's not just in relationships, that's career, that's leisure, that's all types of opportunities will come when you let go, let God, surrender what you think you want. Even if it's something in the moment where God's like, okay, go apply for that job, and it's not something that you would ever do, but just apply. And that's just an example. It could be a plethora of things God wants you to do, and you'd be like, well, why would I do that? Just take the first step, and one of two things will happen. Either A, you will then actually have the desire, because He will give you the desires of your heart. It will actually become a desire of yours. Or B, it could be a test to see if you would do it. And it could be like, He could be like, okay, you don't have to do it. I just wanted to see if you would obey me. Okay. What are you willing to give up to be happy? Sacrifice. So love is sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up for God? What are you willing to give up for your relationship? What are you willing to give up career-wise to be happy? Because at the end of the day, God wants us to be happy. At the end of the day. I don't know why we make it so complicated. I don't. Love is not supposed to be miserable. Love is patient and kind. It's not self-seeking. It doesn't boast. It doesn't keep any record of wrongs. Like, it's not supposed to be painful. He wants what's best for us. Even when we don't see it, we have to embrace, let go, and let God flow.